feel like life is a video game played over and over like Groundhog Day. And even though I found my way, the soundtrack always sounds the same.
Rock City Networks and The Push coming to you from Face the Music 2010. Joining me, Emma Wiking. How are you, lovely?
I'm good, Ben. How are you?
I'm good. Now, you've just come fresh out of facilitating a chat here.
I have, yes.
At The Push. How was it? Well, Face the Music, pardon me.
It was good. It was fantastic. I think it was called Out of the Box, and it was a session where artists were invited to come and bring their music and put it in the box, and then we would play a section of it and give feedback.
Yeah.
And we had some great panellists on sharing their thoughts. We had Ben and Hayley from Roadrunner and Vince Verasso from Verasso PR, and they were really good. I hope artists got a bit out of it we perhaps didn't get through quite as many releases as I would have liked, but I think some of the advice and the feedback was hopefully helpful.
Yeah. Now, I was talking to Mr. Verasso before about that, and it's kind of like that business where it's hard because sometimes you know what you're going to tell an artist, feedback-wise, may not be the best feedback or may not be what they're expecting.
That's true.
How was it today?
Well, I actually didn't open it up for questions, so we didn't get to hear the artist's heartbreaking or.
But how did you feel with what you were critiquing on? How did you feel what was the quality there?
I thought, there was some moments where I think some of what they were told might not have been what they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
But I think there were some really good points made in the fact that, on production and audio recording, things to think about before, when you're going in to do that recording. One of the panellists, Andy, made a mention of, rather than going in and recording like the whole 10, 15 songs that you've just written, why not put it out there to some people that you trust and you believe will give you honest feedback and get them to, to tell you what's good and what's not, so that you don't spend all of your money on recording 15, semi kind of mediocre tracks where you actually spend all the money on recording maybe 1, 2, 3 great tracks and you come up with a better quality product.
Yeah.
That was good. I thought that was good. And what was some of the other feedback? It was interesting, Verasso gave some feedback on approaching commercial radio and, what you might need to do in preparation before you get to that point, setting up your team around you. And also Hayley was really good with some feedback on marketing and online marketing and things to think about. Verasso also talked about the way that he'd worked the blogs and everything with Kimbra, and that was really interesting because there was an artist who put their song forward today with a track that was sort of similar genre as Kimbra, which I think is a bit of a new sort of genre of music in the more commercial side of things. And so Verasso shared some ways that they had worked on Kimbra and sort of gotten her out there a little bit before taking it to radio, so that there was more of a buzz, more of a story, that sort of thing.
Excellent. And what about yourself? What advice did you have to throw out there?
I think my biggest point was make sure you have a point of difference, something that sets you apart from everybody else. That I think is probably the biggest thing that artists need when they're first starting off, because there's so many bands out there and there's so much to to compete with, that everyone's looking for what makes you stand out from the rest. And I think point of difference is, whether it be coming up with a story, that's another whole thing, but finding your point of difference is the key thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Andy from Audio Technology Magazine before was he sort of got into it without me asking him, but he sort of said the same thing. He said, it's with your sound, it can go right across the board here, but with sound, he said, find the things that are different in your sound, find the things that are individual, and work on those rather than trying to be
emulate
someone else or emulate someone else, which exactly. I think that's the general perception around here. And it's almost, when I was thinking about it before between interviews, I kind of feel like it's more about, when you see an artist, you might go, well, that's a bit weird, or maybe they shouldn't be doing that, or I don't really get it, so I don't really relate to it. And I kind of think that the negative things, or the negative things, inverted commas, that people sort of pick out of artists when they first see them are probably the things they should concentrate on.
That's true. Well, it's the thing that sort of has stood out, as long as it's not like bad vocals or something like that.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah, within reason.
But if you've got something that's really grabbing people's attention, then that's a fantastic thing. I mean, there's nothing worse when you put your record on and everybody goes, yeah, it's all right, but it sounds like everything else. It's like, well, then what have you got to work from there? You know what I mean?
Excellent. Now, what's happening? What's happening with what have you got? Remedy Music. You've got BNM. Take us through everything you're doing at the moment before we let you go.
One of the things that, two of the big things that I do is Remedy Music, which is promoting independent artists and working, independent artists release campaigns. So I work with artists like Georgia Fields and the Melodics, the Little Stevies, and sort of basically helping them, exposure, radio, TV, press, that sort of thing, and putting together their release timelines from start to finish, and thinking not just only about the next 3 months, but the next 6 to 12 months, and how it all works in, and the kind of things you can do, that's going to make you stand out. Yeah. And then, of course, there's managing the Melodics, which has been quite a handful of work, yes. They're
good boys. They're good boys,
and they've been really busy recently. They played the Big Sound and the One Movement conferences, which we saw you guys at. And and so that's been really good. We're now working towards heading overseas next year and playing in England and Europe, so that's very exciting.
That answers my question. I thought, are they going to do US or Europe? It's always the big question when you hit the overseas market, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, well, I think their music is suited to the European festival touring, so that's what we're working towards.
Excellent. Now, after One Movement, just to touch quickly on that, Asia.
Yeah.
Are you going to look at Asia for Melodics?
Definitely. And we were just a part of the recent Austrade promo that they did over at the conference that's just been on in Japan. But I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, so one thing at a time, we're getting there.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, Emma. Well, I'm not going to let you. I am going to let you go. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Tongue-tied here. So many people to talk to, but lovely to see you. Lovely to get you in front of the camera for a change rather than sitting behind it. And enjoy the rest of Face the Music, and best the Melodics and all the other acts that you're taking care of, and hopefully we can catch up again soon.
Definitely.
We'll put all the relevant links up on the screen there, so you can find out what's going on. With all the respective businesses and little projects you've got. Well, not little projects, big projects you've got going on. It's Emma Wiking here with me at Face the Music 2010 for Rock City Networks and The Push.
Highly strong,